Hey, this is Kim here, the Divine Warrior Goddess, and I wanted to talk about some things that you may not know about me and the very reason that I wrote my book. I, like many of the light keepers, gatekeepers, grid keepers, came in seeing and being the observer from a very early age. And we saw all of the um, distortions from very early on. So we were very much awake in the beginning. And we questioned things and were told that we were wrong, or we learned to just keep our mouth shut because the rest of the world didn't see things the way that we did. It all was very normal for them. And for us, it was nothing made sense. So I actually don't remember having a carefree childhood. I don't remember having a lot of fun or happy, fond memories. My entire life was, and yours might have been too, the dark night of the soul. And then, and we had numbed ourselves. We had numbed ourselves to everything because nothing made sense. We couldn't understand why people were so mean, why they may have told lies, gossiped, were mean. So we closed our heart. We shut it down. We shut it completely down. So that even when we became adults, we may have chose the wrong, but nothing is ever wrong. It was exactly the way that it was supposed to be. And it was a vibrational match. Um, so we were asleep. Our partners were asleep. Everyone that was in our hologram was asleep. And then when I woke up in the 90s, and my heart bust wide open, and I started connecting with, I started taking a class about spirituality class, and started immediately connecting with my angels and Jesus and my guides. And that was so heart expanding. And that's what brought me joy and hope that there was something. I began to ponder and feel like there was something more for me. And because I felt so empty inside, nothing was fulfilling. My children were the only thing that really brought me joy, and my animals. And the class, because it really did wake me up to my true self as a spiritual being. And that empowered me slowly along the way. I became a minister in a spiritual church in the early 2000s, 2001, and served there for many years. Um, Obviously, it was my service job. We did not get paid for our service, and we drove a long way. And it was those were very long healing services with messages that we gave as well. And it gave me the courage to leave a very long marriage. And it was bumpy, very bumpy after that. After I took that great big step, then I lost a lot of family members in a short amount of time, in a span of 8 months in 2009. And it was a grandfather, and then 6 weeks later, my dad, and then my grandmother, which I was very close to my grandmother, and it was kind of like the straw that broke the camel's back. And it threw me back down into the dark night, which I was there already still, but it threw me even further down into that. And I was working 3 jobs at the time, 7 days a week, as a single mother. And I decided to go back to school in 2011. Even though I was a clairvoyant and an energy healer and working 3 jobs and a minister in a spiritual church, I knew and I was led, my guides, to go back to school. And going back to school changed me in a profound way. And I knew that I was smart, but I didn't think I was smart, if that makes sense. So school, I threw everything into, when I went back to school, I threw everything into it, and many times studying 12, 14 hours a day, doing homework, because I didn't believe in myself. And I didn't think I could do it, even though I knew I could do it. And something magical happened along the way. It activated within me to see what was truly going on at the church that I had been serving for many years. So my eyes had been opened, and I wanted to leave right away, but my guides told me, no, you have to wait. And so every time I went, I would sit there and watch and observe, which I was always observing, but I was seeing things shifted in a new light. And finally, in December 2012, my guides told me that it was time to go and I could finally resign. And it was one of the happiest moments of my life because I was so ready to go. And it's no coincidence that it was December 2012 when Ascension officially began, even though it's like each is a new level of awareness. And so I was so thrilled and excited that I could finally leave this place that was really messing with my mind, was messing with all of our minds. And it was the old spiritual dogma that I was ready to transcend. That's all it was. And I'm not blaming anyone. I am not bad mouthing anyone. I was just ready to transcend the old spirituality, even though I didn't know that that's what it was at the time. So that was a huge turning point for me, and I was in school for a couple more years, and I had graduated 2 programs with honors, which was unbelievable to me. And it really did something to me. It changed me in a beautiful way. I had so much more confidence in myself, and I started to learn how to go out and have fun. I had always loved dancing, but I had never gone out dancing. I wasn't comfortable in bars. I didn't have the confidence to do those things before, and I was sensitive to energy my whole life, so I didn't like that kind of energy. But when I started going dancing, I already knew at that point that I was not absorbing other people's energy. I was radiating out, and it was felt. And the place that I used to go was so much fun, and people could feel my loving energy. And I finally learned how to have fun and find my joy, which I had never had. It brought me so much joy to go dancing almost every weekend. And it was a huge turning point for me. So that's why I wrote the book, Divine Warrior Goddess, Step into Your Power. Because I wanted to assist those that may resonate with this story, which that's all it is a story, of the tools that I use to transform my life. Because it took a lot of work, a lot of inner work, to go from someone that's entire life was the dark night of the soul to someone that actually feels joyful and happy for no reason at all, not depending on another to bring me that joy, just feeling it just because. So I thought it was important to share this message with you. Because I know that there's a lot of us gatekeepers and grid keepers and light keepers out there that have felt so alone and sad and feeling like a victim their entire life. And we can transcend that. We absolutely can. And I say it so many times in my book, I have no idea how many. But if I can do it, anyone can do it. You can do it. I believe in you. You're smart. You're light. You're gorgeous. And I love you. And so this is my book, Divine Warrior Goddess, Step into Your Power. And it is a journey to wholeness and igniting your self-mastery. And it's my gift to the world, to whoever is led to read it and transcend duality, victim mode, and come to a place of fully self-love. Because I never loved myself, and I do now. And I never thought I would get to this place. That's the beauty of ascension, is that we're transcending all those things that we chose to come in and experience and let it all go and be who we truly are, which is a light for the world. So go shine your light and go shine your love. And remember, radiate out. We radiate it out. I love you, and I will see you soon.